I went out and I purchased a condo cash for $73,000 in 2014. Turned around and rented it out for $1,200 a month immediately. While Detroit has had its struggles, you can find tenants. And I've had it rented pretty much the whole time. I've only had 1 or 2 months when it wasn't rented. So currently, that would be 5 years later, I have a tenant in the property right now, and he wants to buy it for $160,000. So, rule of 72, you divide the number of years into 72, it gives you a return. That's 14.4% return. That does not count my cash flow. When you add in the cash flow, my return is way above 20-something%. I don't even want to quote it because you're just going to think I'm making stuff up. So in other words, I made a killing on this property. Now, does it always mean that you're going to make a great return on a property? No, not necessarily. Broad Financial doesn't guarantee you your investments. It's a tool that lets you do what you want. It gives you freedom to make your investments and choices that you otherwise wouldn't have. You have a 401k, you're not given choices to invest in real estate unless it's some kind of REIT. And those REITs are highly regulated. There's a lot of fees. They don't perform like this. There is no REIT in the entire stock market what I would have made this return. Not one. So I'm a big fan because it gives you the freedom to make choices. I can't tell you how many people I met that literally have $100,000 or $200,000. And when you come across wealthy people, I'm talking people who put lots of money into checking accounts, which earn them nothing. It's gradually whittling away because of inflation, because they're scared about getting in the market. It's unpredictable. They don't like to gamble. And putting your money in the market to most people feels like gambling. Now, if you're 30 years old and you've got, a long time to when you retire, maybe you're comfortable with it. But if you're 62 years old and you're trying to decide whether you're going to retire at 65 or 67, and people say the market's high, it's a scary thing. So, coming back to the real estate thing, the option of investing in real estate. Real estate rents, I have found, don't go down. You have a recession, you can have a great recession. Rents may freeze, but they don't go down. And so it may be a little harder to find a tenant. You might have vacancy a little bit longer, but generally you don't see rents go down. So the diversification of your portfolio that is allowed by using Broad Financial is key to making the profits that can balance your other conservative investments. And the key here is there's so many people that have so much cash, it doesn't have to be in the stock market. And a lot of people don't know that. And this is a way you can do it. And all this rent's going into my account, and I had added money. It got up to like over $100,000. And I called one of the reps and I said, can I do a loan? And I didn't have enough money to purchase another property all cash. And I don't remember who I spoke to, but I saved the email, put it in my little binder. I have a binder here. It's thick. You guys send me stuff every year. I keep my paperwork in, all lined up, and it's pretty easy to understand. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, but if you have questions, you just call somebody abroad. So I called and asked them about loans. They said, well, Paul, there was a certain amount of loans limit you can do per year, and I could borrow up to 50% or a maximum of $50,000 from this account. And so I borrowed, the first time was a smaller amount, but recently I just did one for almost the $50,000. And so I use that to go purchase another little property somewhere else, but that property is not held inside my retirement account. That property is held in my name. So I had permission to borrow from my retirement account to use that money as down payment on another property. And then I use the rent to make my payments to pay back into my retirement account. You have to separate your personal from your retirement account. The IRS is very sticky about it. You need to follow the rules very exactly. And the forms say very clearly you have to make, monthly or quarterly payments. You have to pay interest. You can't do it zero because you got to do it like you're going to a bank or something. So you got to look around at prevailing rates and pick a rate that's around there. And then you make payments back to it. Yeah, so it's kind of like being your own bank at the same time too. I've talked a lot about real estate. When you have a solo 401k, You don't have to invest in real estate. I'm a big fan of real estate, but there's a huge list of things that you can invest in when you own your solo 401k. So if somebody is a specialist and they work in some other type of commodity, or I don't know, diamonds or whatever your business is, if you're a specialist in it, then you could consider using your knowledge in that industry to help you make money inside your solo 401k. It's made a big difference for me. It's making a big difference for my family. It'll make a big difference for my special needs child when I'm gone. And he's mentally about a year old. I have to come up with ways to protect him later so he has income, so people take care of him. That's scary. So you guys have helped me out in a big way, and I appreciate it.